Budget Submissions and Financial Standing Committee meeting at 9:11 a.m. Thank you for your attendance. Do we have any conflicts?
Yes, I do.
Please go ahead. I,
Councillor Cameron O'Neill, declare that I have a perceived conflict of interest as defined by the Local Government Act 2009, Section 175D and E for agenda item C1, with the subject heading rating scenarios. The conflict has arisen because I am chair of the Country University Centre Maranoa, and we've received correspondence that Santos have approved foundation sponsorship of the new centre. I have determined that this personal interest is not of sufficient significance that will lead to me making a decision on the matter that is contrary to the public interest. I will best perform my responsibility of serving the overall public interest of the whole of the council area by participating in the discussion and voting on the matter. However, I acknowledge that the remaining councillors must now determine, pursuant to Section 175E4 of the Local Government Act 2009, A, whether I have a real conflict of interest in this matter or a perceived conflict of interest in this matter, and B, if so, whether 1, I must leave the meeting whilst the matter is discussed or voted on, or 2, I may participate in the meeting in relation to this matter, including by voting on the matter.
Okay. Do we have anyone? Yep, please go ahead, Councillor Hancock.
I move that Councillor Cameron O'Neill has a perceived conflict of interest in the matter, and notwithstanding the conflict, Councillor O'Neill may participate in the matter, discuss and vote upon it.
We have a seconder. Councillor McMullen. Any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak? We'll go to the vote. All those in favour? 9-0.
Or 8-0,
sorry. Okay, do we have any other conflicts? I'll declare I, Tyson Golder, declare a conflict of interest as defined by the Local Government Act 2009, Section 175D and E for agenda item C11. With the subject heading use of law at Roma Waste Facility to service sports field. Because I am the President of Roma District Junior Soccer Association, and I will be dealing with this matter by leaving the room while the matter is discussed. So do we have any other conflicts? Okay, we'll get on to the agenda then. Okay.
I move we go into committee.
We have a seconder. Councillor Ladbrook. Any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak? We'll go to the vote. All those in favour? Councillor Burke, you're in favour?
Yeah.
Yep, so 9-0. Okay, item C1, rating scenarios. Councillor Hancock.
I move that the committee receive and note the information and seek further advice on the scenarios.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Taylor. Any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak? We're going to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
9-0. C2, page 17. Prompt payment discount rates. Do we have a mover? Councillor McMahon.
Mr. Mayor, I'll move that the committee recommend that the next draft of the 2020-21 budget include a 5% discount on differential general rates if paid within the discount period of 30 days and of the date of issue of the rate notice, provided that all of the aforementioned rates and charges are paid within 30 days of the date of issue of the rate notice. B, all the other rates and charges appearing on the rates notice that are not subject to a discount are paid within 30 days after the date of issue of the rates notice. And C, all other overdue rates and charges related to rateable asset assessment are paid within 30 days of the date of issue of the rates notice.
We have a seconder. Councillor Guthrie, any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak? We'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
9-0. C3, interest on overdue rates. I would like to move that the committee include an interest rate of 4% on overdue rates and charges in the next draft of the 2021 budget. Do we have a seconder? Councillor McMullen. Any opposition to the motion? Does anyone wish to speak to the motion? Okay, we'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
9-0. Page 30, C4, draft revised 2020-2021 operational business as usual budget compared against specific rates modelling scenarios included in the draft project proposals. Do we have a mover? Councillor Hancock.
I move that the committee, 1, receive and note the information presented, 2, recommend that the projects identified under the Local Roads and Community Infrastructure Fund are presented at the next ordinary meeting to nominate these projects for this funding and include in the 2020-21 budget with the inclusion of the amendments as discussed. 3, recommend that the project proposals 2020-2021 amended as discussed be included in the next draft of the budget.
Okay, do we have a seconder? Well, Councillor McMullen was first. Any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak? We're going to go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
9-0. Okay, page 56. C5, draft 2020-2021 fund budget submissions, plant, fleet, workshops and depots. Do we have a mover? Councillor Burkett.
I move that the committee include, number 1, include the plant, fleet, workshops and depots budget submission and the plant investment program, including the deferred and uncommitted items from the 2019-20 in the next draft of the 2020-21 budget. Number 2, include the additional plant item requests that cannot be funded from plant reserves as part of the draft general funded project proposals for 2020-21 budget deliberations.
Okay, do we have a seconder? Councillor Ladbrook. Any opposition to the motion? Does anyone wish to speak? We're going to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
9-0. Okay, moving on to page 70. C6, special rate pest management. Do we have a mover? Councillor Taylor.
I move that the pest management special rate of 0.000017856 be included in the next draft of the rating resolutions for the 2020-21 budget.
We have a seconder. Councillor Guthrie. Any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak? We're going to the vote. All those in favour? 9-0. Thank you. Now, page 76. C7, special rate state government precept. Do we have a mover? Councillor Edwards.
I move that the state government precept special rate of 0.000245541 be included in the next draft budget of the 2020-21 budget.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Ladbroke, any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak? We're going to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
9-0. Page 82, C8, COVID-19 Recovery Package Fee Waivers 2020-2021. Do we have a mover? Councillor Hancock.
I move number 1, that the committee recommend 100% fee waivers for inclusion in the draft 2020-21 budget. A, 2020-2021 licensing and permit fees for food businesses, including footpath dining, caravan parks and potable water carriers. B, 2020-2021 trade waste applications for existing customers who do not have a trade waste agreement in place. C, specific development assessment and inspection fees as detailed in the report for material change of use, operational works and plumbing works. 1, until 30 June 2021, and 2, impose a 2-year currency period on development permits issued under the concession provided in paragraph 1, and 3, continue charging full development assessment fees for development permits with a currency period that exceeds 2 years. Number 2, recommend that the next draft 2020-21 budget incorporates the estimated value of all reduced fees and waivers associated with COVID-19 recovery package. Total estimate $186,226 as per items below. A, food licences $61,000. B, trade waste applications $6,626. C, development assessments and plumbing works $115,000. D, community safety $65,000. E, facilities lease income $3,600. 3, recommend to a future ordinary meeting that council endorse that the approved fee waivers are included in the register of general cost recovery fees and commercial charges by way of including a notation under the applicable fee. Fee waiver is applicable for the year 2020-2021 as part of the council COVID-19 recovery package.
Okay, do we have a seconder for that motion? Councillor Edwards. Any opposition to the motion? Does anyone wish to speak? We're going to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
9-0. Page 101. C9, draft 2020-2021 fund budget submissions, quarry and quarry pits. Do we have a mover? Councillor Burkett.
I move that the committee recommend the inclusion of the quarry and quarry pits fund budget submission and the special project in the next draft of the 2020-21 budget.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Taylor. Any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak to it? We're going to go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
9-0. Page 110. C10, waste management utility charges, industrial, commercial, ratepayers. Do we have a mover? Councillor Taylor.
I move that council receive and note the officer's report, refer the matter for further investigation prior to the 2021-22 budget deliberations into the possible options for the waste management within the industrial area of Roma when the state government reforms are known.
Sorry, Councillor Taylor, I missed that.
When the state government reforms are known.
Yeah, we're putting it off because we're waiting for the reforms so we know what we can and can't do. We can't do it this year when they're implemented. When the state government reforms are
Implemented.
Legislated.
legislated. Thank you.
What about consultation? Would you like to see some consultation recommended so we can
Yeah, we can do that too, that'd be fine.
find out who would be interested?
Yep. And consultation, undertaken, yeah.
Consultation. The other option is you could put refer the matter for further investigation and consultation.
Yeah.
Prior to the to say the words to point to, Cal. So, by way of suggestion, refer the matter for further investigation and consultation.
First line,
Oh, actually.
on number 2.
Consultation.
Investigation and consultation.
You're happy with that, Councillor Taylor?
Yeah.
I'll second that, Mr Mayor.
Righto. Any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak? We'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
9-0. Okay, I have declared a conflict of interest on C11 and I'll be dealing with this by leaving the room and ask the Deputy Mayor if he would take over.
Okay, item C11, use of bore at Roma Waste Facility to service sports fields. Do I have a mover? Councillor Guthrie,
I'm happy to move that council note the contents of this report.
I have a seconder. Councillor Hancock. Anyone for or against or wish to talk to the motion? Put it to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
8-0. Thank you, Ken.
C11, we've done, so we're on to C12. C12, sewage charge for properties and septic tanks connected to the sewer network. I would like to move that council note the contents of the report, and the second one would be an act or what would we say about consultation? I'd like consultation done in the next 12 months to work out, to basically consult
Undertake
consultation to explain the issues and council's plans for standardising its charging of sewage with feedback to come back to council from residents affected.
Would you, charging of sewage, not dispersal, but sewage, like,
I'm happy to word it into
what's the word?
Disposal.
which one?
Yeah, like, because it's going back into their line, so,
It's about connectivity, isn't it?
yeah, like it's,
Connecting it to the.
sewage is just a general term for the whole lot.
Is it sewage, not what network?
Yeah, it's getting into the network, not dispersal. Which it,
What's included in the sewage network, isn't it?
into the council network, like charging of
Council's plans for charging for discharge into council's sewage network.
It's in the heading too. It's for sewage charge for properties with septic tanks connected to the sewer network.
Yeah.
It's actually, the wording's in your heading, that's what you're actually doing. So I'll read that again for you, Cal. Sewage charge for properties. Oh, sorry, where are we heading? Council's plans for, instead of standardising.
Okay, yep.
Oh, sorry. Council's plans for.
Isn't it down a bit?
Oh, standardised, okay. It's sewage charge, so after it's sewage charge for properties with septic tanks connected to the sewer network. And then just get rid of charging the sewage.
Just make suggestions to me that we say that the committee rather than council.
Yes, sure, good point. And also I'd like to put in there, the committee. So we're not undertaking consultations, or what would we say there? Recommend.
Request.
The timing, the timing.
In the 2021 year, so we're doing it ready for next year.
But this financial year.
That the committee, for point 2, could I suggest that the committee endorse the undertaking of consultation during the 2021 financial year?
You won't need the committee.
The committee, because that's the first, yes, point 1 is note, and then point 2 is endorse. To explain.
You happy with that? It made enough sense.
Yeah, the first one's point 1, and then the point 2 is the endorse.
Okay, we happy with that? Okay, do we have a seconder for that motion?
Do you want to read it again, Mr Mayor, just
Sure.
for the time?
Number 1, note the contents of the report. 2, endorse the undertaking of consultation. Well, actually, you should start again. That the committee note the contents of the report, and 2, endorse the undertaking of consultation in the 2020-2021 financial year to explain the issues and council's plans for standardising the sewer charge for properties with septic tanks connected to the sewer network, with feedback to come back to council from residents affected. Have we had a seconder there? Councillor Burkett, any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak? We're going to go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
9-0. C13, purchase of ride-on mower Hodson. Do we have a mover? Councillor McMullen.
Yeah, Mr Mayor, I move that the committee recommend that the proposal be included in the next draft of the 2020-21 budget.
We have a seconder?
I'll second that.
Councillor O'Neill. Any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak? We're going to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
9-0. C14, driveway access, rural fire brigade shed, Mungalala. Councillor McMullen.
Mr Mayor, I'll move that the committee recommend that the proposal be included in the next draft of the 2020-21 budget.
Oh, we got everyone.
Good on Mangalala.
So we'll go Councillor Edwards. Any opposition? Does anyone want to speak to it? All those in favour?
Yes.
9-0. Okay, moving on to the lake. LC1, Register of General Cost Recovery Fees and Commercial Charges, effective from the 1st of July 2020, new and revised fees. I would like to move that the committee recommends that number 1, the fees identified in the report are included in the Register of General Cost Recovery Fees and Commercial Charges and brought back to a future ordinary meeting for adoption. And number 2, fees be identified which align with the previous recommendation to waive fees, and that these fees be brought back to the next committee meeting. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Edwards, Councillor Ladbroke, I should say. Any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak? We're going to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
9-0. Page 11, LC2, Rural Fire Brigade Special Charge 2020-2021. Do we have a mover? Councillor McMullen.
Mr Mayor, I'll move that the Rural Fire Brigade special charges be included in the next draft of the rating resolution for the 2020-21 budget.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Burkett. Any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak to the motion? We're going to go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
9-0. LC3, page 24. LC3, budget consideration for 2020-2021 Roma Cenotaph. We have a mover. Councillor Edwards.
I'd like to move that, number 1, the committee provides support for the grant application for the Roma Cenotaph project. And number 2, include $20,000 for the project in the draft 2020-21 budget in support of the grant application.
We have a second, Councillor Ladbroke. Any opposition?
Mr Mayor, just note the wording that Councillor Edwards would like to change. We put that, the committee up the top, and put number 1, provide support, number 2, include. Otherwise it reads that include instead of the committee include.
That's fine. Yeah.
It just read a bit.
Yeah.
Once we're done, we might just get you to read it again. Councillor Edwards, if you don't mind.
Provide, Cal, rather than provides.
It's a suggestion.
No, that's good. I'm really going to suggest it. So it's good work. Okay. So I'd like to move that the committee, 1, provide support for the grant application for the Roma Cenotaph project, and 2, include $20,000 for the project in the draft 2020-21 budget in support of the grant application.
Do we have a seconder? Oh, that's right, Councillor Ladbroke. Any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak? We're going to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
9-0. Okay, is there any further business, councillors? Well, on that note, we'll close the budget Submissions and Financial Planning Standing Committee, meeting of the Wednesday, the 15th of July 2020 at 5:27 p.m. Thank you for your attendance, council.